Before player introductions, Caroline Green, KCD senior and recording artist, will sing the national anthem. Everyone please stand.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars ruled the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Now for tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the Wildcats at Whitefield, starting at guard, number 5, James Daly. At forward, number 10, Aaron Johnson. Also at forward, number 23, Chip Atkinson. At the second guard, number 32, Andrew Patterson. And number 40, at center, Ryan Ramey. The Wildcats are coached by Chad Carr. Now for the Bearcats of Kentucky Country Day. Starting at guard, number 2, Anthony Mathis. At forward, Colin Ferguson. At a second forward, number 11, Zach Lyle. Also at forward, number 4, Robert Schultz. And at guard, number 21, Henry Brockett. The Bearcats are coached by James Booker.
All right, guys, welcome to tonight's game between Whitefield and KCD. It's the varsity game. We just saw a dramatic win for the KCD girls. Joining me tonight is Todd Lyles. Todd just flew in, and Todd's sitting down next to me. So let's go through the starters for tonight's game. For KCD, J.R. Mathis, Henry Crockett, Colin Ferguson, Zach Lyles, and Robert Schultz. And the starters for Whitefield are number 23, Chad Atkinson, number 5, James Daly, number 10, Aaron Johnson, number 32, Andrew Patterson, and number 40, Ryan Ramsey. KCD with the ball. Early shot by J.R. Mathis is just off. Rebounded by Robert Schultz, but lost to number 40, Ryan Ramsey. Whitefield on the break. Whitefield comes into the game with a 1-6 record, but talking to Coach Smith, he said they could just as easily be 6-1. So expect a very hard-fought game here between KCD and Whitefield. It's always that way. Yeah, Penn. Todd, welcome.
Thank you, Bob.
Hey, thanks for filling in. The voice of the Bearcats had an emergency come up, so he couldn't be here.
Glad to do it.
All right, so KCD beats the Whitefield press, gets it into the half court where J.R. Mathis has the ball. Boy, J.R.'s had a good early start to the season, hasn't he?
Yeah, for an 8th grader to be leading the team in scoring is pretty amazing in high school basketball today.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you consider Colin Ferguson is a freshman, pretty young team. Henry Crockett gets over to Jaron Mathis in the corner. He brings it up top. Looks like Whitfield's in a 2-3 zone. Beautiful pass into Zach Lyles. 2-0 KCD. 6:52 left. KCD applying pressure. Number 5 from Whitfield, James Daly's got the ball. Checked by J.R. Mathis, picked up by Robert Schultz. Drives into the lane and misses. Rebounded by number 10, Aaron Johnson. He can't convert either. Henry Crockett gets possession for the Bearcats. Drives into half court. Ball deflected. His pass to Robert Schultz. Deflected there by Whitfield.
Well, that pass that KCD just had down there was something that JR's dad was telling me they were been working on, getting him in the lane and either getting shots or getting assists to the big men underneath. So it looks like it paid off very well.
Yeah, it was a really nice bounce pass down there to Zach, and Zach was able to convert it. KCD back on the attack. Looks like Whitfield's in a 2-3 zone to start. Colin Ferguson puts up the three, a little short. Rebounded there by Whitfield's number 10, Aaron Johnson. Ball into the half court. Number 23 takes the shot. Number 23 is Chip Atkinson, and he's able to convert. KCD on the attack. Zach Lyles against the Whitfield pressure. Looks like kind of a hybrid zone press. Stolen. Passed over to number 32, Aaron Patterson for the easy layup. KCD attacking the press. Looks like a 2-2-1 trapping press. Bad pass there by Henry Crockett. A little bit of confusion here for KCD attacking this.
A little bit of pressure, and all of a sudden they lost their heads. This is one of those times where they just need to slow down. They take their time, and they'll be just fine.
Yeah, they need to space the floor, keep the ball in the center of the court, and they should be able to handle that press no problem. Whitfield on the attack. Number 5, James Daly with the ball over to number 23, Chip Atkinson. His three-pointer's no good. Rebound there by number 4, Ryan Ramey, and he's fouled. Ryan Ramey will go to the line for 2. Good early start here for Whitfield. Todd missed a really exciting girls game. The new girls coach really doing a nice job with them. Harry Hayes is the new coach. Boy, that's a different team. Play up tempo, press all over the court. Much more exciting brand of basketball than last year's team. First free throw by Ramey is no good. And the second he converts. Henry Crockett up to Robert Schultz. This should be, Robert Schultz misses twice. Robert missed the layup, got his rebound, missed the follow-up. Whitfield on the attack. Number 32 for Whitfield with the ball, Andrew Patterson. Gets it over to 23, Atkinson. Back over to 32, Patterson. KCD looks like they're playing straight man-to-man. Shot put up by Atkinson is no good. Rebounded there by number 40 for Whitfield, and Ramey scores again. Too many shot opportunities there for Whitfield. Todd, from an emotion perspective, it looks like Whitfield's way into the game. KCD looks a little flat.
Well, KCD's flat, but they've got a great student body. It's white out here tonight at KCD, and the crowd wants to get into it. But we got to do something positive for them to get into the game, and we just haven't done it right now.
Yeah, we're really struggling with their full court press and really not getting very many good shot opportunities either. 4:38 left in the first. Whitfield with an early 7-2 lead. I think that's a good timeout by Coach Booker.
I think it is, and the big stat so far is the rebounding. KCD's getting out rebounded 5-2, and those second half chances is what made Whitfield take the lead on KCD here early.
Let's see if we can beat the press and get an easy basket. J.R. Mathis with the ball to Colin Ferguson. Colin gets it over the half court, and there's a foul there by number 40, Ramey, for Whitfield. Ball's inbounded from Colin Ferguson into J.R. Mathis. JR being guarded there by number 32, Andrew Patterson. Oh, that is just a terrible call. The guy wasn't that close to him. There was a significant gap between the defender and the ball handler.
Sound like a quick five, but you know JR's got to be recognizing you. Referee was moving his arm, so he should have seen it.
Whitfield with the ball, three-pointer by Atkinson. Shot's no good, rebounded by J.R. Mathis. JR's bringing it up, gets it into the half court, passes it to Ferguson. Ferguson drives it into the lane to Robert Schultz, but deflected and stolen. Whitfield on the attack. Patterson with the ball, gets it over to Atkinson. Atkinson takes it back up to the top to Patterson. Looks like KCD's still straight man-to-man, Ty.
Yes, they are, and they're going to have to get some bodies and get some rebounds in here because that's where they're getting killed right now.
Ramey passes it back out to number 5. James Daly shot short. Rebounded again by J.R. Mathis. J.R. brings it into half court, gets it to Ferguson. To Henry Crockett. Henry Crockett brings it back out. Looks like Whitfield's going man-to-man now. Henry Crockett loses it off the dribble. Ball's deflected out of bounds, stayed with KCD.
Oh, I don't know. Whitfield.
We may have gotten away with one.
They may have given us a gift there because it looked like it hit Henry's shorts as it rode out of bounds.
It sure did.
We need a break at this point, so we'll take it.
So with 3:08 left in the first quarter, it's still 7-2. KCD's only basket coming from Zach Lyles off an assist from J.R. Mathis. J.R. Mathis with the ball out on the wing. He's getting hand checked a lot. Passes it into Henry Crockett for a driving layup. No good. And rebound by Patterson for Whitfield. Atkinson's called for a foul. I think Zach Lyles may have got him there. No, Henry Crockett. 11, he said. Yeah, fouls on Zach Lyles. Coming into the game for the Bearcats, Khalil Wilson's replacing Colin Ferguson.
Yeah, I think Colin ended up Ferguson getting the foul, so he's now got 2. Zach didn't
Oh,
get that
wow.
foul.
Yeah, so James Daly took that ball and drove it on J.R. Mathis and used his strength to get inside him, and Mathis was called for the foul. Patterson with the shot and up and in. 9-2 Whitfield with 2:32 in the first quarter. Nice beating of the press into Khalil Wilson up to Robert Schultz, and Robert Schultz is fouled there by Ramey. Nice pass there by Khalil Wilson. That's the second team foul on Whitfield.
That was a good job breaking the press. They got it right down there, and Robert just needs to finish that ball, and he was right there on the rim. He could have had an old-fashioned three-point play.
Yeah, so Robert approaches the line. First one's up and in. Robert's free throw shooting's gotten better over the last couple games. He benefited from a bank a couple games ago. Second one's up and in. 2:25 left in the first. 9-4 Whitfield. Patterson with the ball, being checked by Henry Crockett. KCD playing straight up man-to-man. Patterson drives in the lane, kicks it out to Daly. Daly drives it in, tries to get it to Ramey, but Ramey TD ball.
Well, that time it looked like we picked up our defense a little bit quicker, and we're on the men, so they couldn't stand the pressure and threw the ball away.
Yeah, we did a good job of keeping our keeping the guys that we were guarding in front of us. JR brings it in the half court up to Zach Lyles. Zach Lyles to Crockett. Crockett gets it into the lane to Khalil Wilson. His shot is no good, but he's fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. I tell you what, having that strength that Khalil has to help because he's very much an undersized forward. But
he took the ball right to the rim. What you've got to do and make a guy's foul you or get the easy layup. So I like the aggressive play by Khalil that time.
See if Khalil can make a couple free throws. Khalil's first attempt is up and no good. He'll get a second. Checking into the game for Whitfield is number 24, Nathan Getson. and he is replacing Ramey. And the second shot was no good. Patterson with the ball, gets it up to Atkinson. Atkinson to Getson, Getson over to Patterson. Patterson back to Daly. And it looks like a foul away from the ball, maybe on Robert Schultz.
No, it's on Khalil Wilson.
Oh, foul's on Khalil Wilson.
He basically ran over the guy. I think he was trying to set a pick, and Khalil just ran right over him, and they called him for a foul.
That's KCD's fourth foul here in the first quarter. Whitfield on the drive. Daly takes it in, and that's just too easy. Easy layup. No weak side help there by KCD. Boy, Robert Schultz is wide open. They finally get it to him, and he's able to convert. Nice pass from Henry Crockett. With 1:18 left, Whitfield leads 11-6. Patterson with the ball. Patterson guarded by Henry Crockett, gets it off to Atkinson. Looked like a carry there, but guarded by Zach Lyles.
Nice block.
And blocked by Zach Lyles. Henry Crockett on the possession, drives it up. Nice jump stop. Can't convert. Rebounded by Lyles and put in. Good start to the game for Zach Lyles. Whitfield's, Patterson looked to pass it. I think Zach Lyles jumped in the passing lane, and he subsequently walked. 11-8. Whitfield in the lead with 51 seconds left in the first quarter. Ball into Henry Crockett. Pass it over to Khalil Wilson. Khalil made three, a little bit long. Rebounded by Khalil Wilson. His shot attempt's no good, but he's fouled on the play. Khalil will go back to the line for two. So, Todd, has Khalil taken many free throws on the year?
I think Khalil's about a 50% shooter. He plays some sparingly. He's 5 for 10 on the year.
Okay. Look good on that one. Khalil makes the first 11-9 with 37 seconds left. Khalil will get a second shot. Second shot's good. 11-10 Whitfield.
All right, I think KCD's pressure's kind of giving Whitfield a fits a couple times down the floor here, and KCD's back in the game down one with like 20 seconds to go.
Boy, Khalil Wilson's really giving them a spark. Try to throw the ball into the center of the court. Khalil bats it away. Leads to Henry Crockett layup. 12-11 Bearcats, 15 seconds left. Patterson with the ball, guarded by Henry Crockett. Patterson shots up and in. 6 seconds left. Oh, and a cheap foul there by Patterson on Whitfield. 3.8 seconds left. Whitfield in the lead, 13-12. Khalil needs to run out here. Ball is inbounded to Zach Lyles. Zach gets it up and just misses. He got it off with plenty of time to spare. Shot's just a little bit long. So at the end of the first quarter, Whitfield leads 13-12. We're going to take a quick break. Again, tonight's game is brought to you by 852 FX. All right, we're back at the start of the second quarter. The Whitfield Wildcats have a 13-12 lead. first quarter where Whitefield jumped out to a 7-8 point lead. The Bearcats fought back, and a late basket by Whitefield gives them a 1 point lead going into the second quarter. Possession arrow is with Whitefield, so they'll be inbounding the ball right at midcourt. So in the game for the Bearcats, Henry Crockett, Zach Clowes, Robert Schultz, Khalil Wilson, and J.R. Mathis. For Whitefield, Patterson has the ball up top. Looks like KCD's in a 3-2 zone. Looks either a 1-2-2 zone or a 3-2-2 zone. Daly takes it on the baseline and is able to convert. 14-11 Whitefield. Henry Crockett brings it up, gets it up to Khalil Wilson. Khalil back to Henry Crockett. Whitefield looks like they're still playing man-to-man. Ball out to Robert Schultz. Robert Schultz is checked there by number 10 for Whitefield. Aaron Johnson back to J.R. Mathis to Henry Crockett. Henry Crockett drives the lane, gets it to Schultz. Schultz tries a three short, rebounded by Khalil Wilson. Khalil Wilson's really giving the Bearcats good energy tonight.
That's probably an ill-advised shot by Robert Schultz. He's made one three-pointer on the year, and he probably doesn't need to be shooting that one. He usually camps out in the lane and gets that easy put back at the rim.
Yeah, it's nice to see Robert setting all the screens that he's doing. Henry gets an easy layup. They're unable to convert, though. Whitefield with the ball. Atkinson drives it down the lane, takes a shot. Good defense by Robert Schultz, but rebounded there by number 10, Aaron Johnson, and he converts. 17-12 Whitefield. Again, KCD starting a little slow at the beginning of this quarter. J.R. Mathis into Robert Schultz, and Robert Schultz is fouled there by number 24, Nathan Getson. That's the 6th team foul for Whitefield. Inbounding the ball for the Bearcats is Henry Crockett. Henry's looking for somebody to throw it to. Gets it in to J.R. Mathis. J.R. does a nice job of straddling the midcourt line.
He was staring the line down when he came down.
I don't think I could have done that. Henry Crockett on the attack. Ball at the top. Looks like Whitefield's now in the 3-2 zone. Passes over to Zach Lyles, over to J.R. Mathis. Out to or to Zach Lyles. Zach Lyles attempts up and just short. Rebounded by Whitefield. Whitefield on the attack. Patterson brings it into half court. Takes about a 12-footer and converts.
That's Patterson's 8th point, Bob. He is lighting it up for Whitefield tonight.
Yeah, you know, it looks like he's got a pretty good medium range game. Nice move there by Zach Lyles. Beautiful. Takes it all the way. Nice to see Zach do that. 19-14 Whitefield. Patterson on brings it in the half court, gets it over to Daly. Daly over to Aaron Johnson.
Oh,
Aaron
nice
Johnson
backdoor and a block.
Patterson, and it's swatted. Oh, and they're calling a foul. That is a tic-tac foul there. That's Zach's first foul. Andrew Patterson at the line for two for Whitefield. First shot's up and in. You know, one thing about these Whitefield teams, you know, they're not going to miss free throws and they're not going to miss open shots.
Yeah, they're very good fundamentally. They've got a program at Whitefield that goes all the way down to the elementary school, comes all the way up through the high school league, so they know how to play ball.
Second shot for Patterson's short. Rebounded by J.R. Mathis. Checking into the game for the Bearcats is Jordan checks in for the Bearcats, giving Zach Lyles a rest.
Jordan Talon, he's a junior for KCD. Kind of a three-point specialist.
Ball thrown into Khalil. Khalil in the lane just misses. Almost rebounded there by Jordan Talon. But Whitefield on possession, gets it over to Daly. Daly puts it in. Good start here. Whitefield takes a 22-14 lead with 4:55 left in the second. 30-second timeout. We'll stay here. Yeah, so Todd, I think we're playing at Whitfield's pace here. I mean, I think this is a game that Whitfield wants to play.
Whitfield's obviously a all-A opponent, so this is a rivalry game. They're come up fired up to play, so I wouldn't expect anything but a barn burner with this team.
Yeah, you know, this is one of those rivalries where typically the home team tends to win this game.
Well, last year, KCD and Whitfield played twice. Both teams, the home team, won the game, so look for KCD to come back here at some time.
Yeah, I hope so. All right, so coming to the end of the game, Zach Lyles is back into the game and giving Khalil Wilson a rest. Whitfield still pressing. Henry Crockett up to Zach Lyles. Zach Lyles gets it up to Jordan Talon, and he gets it back to Henry Crockett. Barely beat the 10-second clock there, but we're able to do so. We really need to get J.R. Mathis started. Henry Crockett on the drive. And they're calling a block. That could have gone the other way.
Well, it was like Whitfield's zone just spread wide open, and Henry had the lane completely wide open, so he went to the basket, and they tried to close on him, and it's very hard for him not to call a foul on Whitfield with closing in like that.
Yeah, good feedback. So 4:33, Crockett's going to the line for two, and Todd, I think that puts KCD in the bonus. Doesn't do any good, though, if you don't make the free throws. First one's no good by Henry. Coming in for Whitfield's number 33, Kyle Jackson, and he replaces number 10, Aaron Johnson. Second shot by Henry Crockett is good. 22-15, Whitfield. Patterson's bringing it over half court. Check there by Henry Crockett. Looks like KCD's doing some type of trap. Gets a deflection, but ball goes right to Patterson. Patterson to Daly. Daly, he walked. That was obvious.
You could even see that from up here in the stands.
Absolutely. Even if he wouldn't have walked, Robert Schultz had a block. But I think that would have been called a walk in the NBA, Todd. KCD on the attack. Zach Lyles with the ball. Passes up to Jordan Talon. Jordan takes a shot, but it's blocked there by number 33, Kyle Jackson.
Well, they had the right idea there. Jordan was wide open. They just couldn't finish it. Big block by the Whitfield defender.
Nice to see Jordan taking that shot, though. Nice to see him take it with his left hand, though. 4:03 left in the second, 22-15. Whitfield in the lead. Looks like Whitfield's in a 3-2 zone. Need to get J.R. Mathis some shots against this zone. Ball to Jordan Talon, and his pass is deflected.
You need to make that a bounce pass when you're going over that way. It was too easy to see where that ball was going and just got deflected out of bounds.
Yeah, this is valuable playing time for Jordan. Henry Crockett at the top, passes it over to J.R. Mathis. He gets it into Robert Schultz. Robert to Henry. Henry to Zach. Beautiful. Zach Lyles with a nice make off a great pass from Henry Crockett.
That's good passing. That's what happens. You pass the ball around and find the open man and get the easy basket.
Yeah, make that zone move. 3:25 left, 22-17 Whitfield. Atkinson with the ball over to Patterson. His three-point shot is up and in. Boy, Patterson's lighting them up, isn't he?
That's 11 points for Patterson.
Zach Lyles passing it to Henry Crockett. Ball's kicked by Atkinson, though. 25-17. Whitfield's in the lead. J.R. Mathis with the ball. Gets it into half court. Passes it to Robert Schultz beautifully, and Robert is able to lay it in. I'm not sure how he got that pass in there.
That was a nice one-handed pass. Could have been going to one of two players. Robert picked it up and put it in the basket, so we like to see that.
25-19. Whitfield with the ball. Good steal there by Henry Crockett, but he's called for a foul. Fouls on Henry Crockett.
It'll be his first.
Henry Crockett, his first, team six.
But I like to see KCD putting a little more pressure on them, because if they can get a few turnovers and get some easy baskets, we'll be right back in this game.
Yeah, it looks like we're going back to man-to-man. Oh, and there's an easy steal by Robert Schultz. And a dunk. Wow. Beautiful play there by Robert Schultz. 25-21. And the dunks brought the crowd into the game.
Well, whenever you have a dunk in a high school game, you're going to get the crowd into it. That was just a beautiful play. Nice steal by Robert. Nice pressure. And then, Whitfield's going to turn the ball over again.
Oh, and I didn't see that ball hit Jordan Talent. It looked like that ball went right off the Whitfield player.
Well, the referee was not looking. He looked for somebody else to make the call, and they just gave it to the offensive team. That's an unfortunate break for KCD.
Whitfield trying to get it in. They get it into number 24, Getson. Getson gets it into Patterson, and Patterson scores again. KCD in the half court trailing 27-21. Ball to Zach Lyles on the wing. Back to Crockett. Over to J.R. Mathis. His three-pointer's good. Boy, he can stroke it. With 2 minutes left, 27-24.
And we'd like to see J.R. Mathis make a few of those threes. That's his first three-point attempt tonight, I believe.
Whitfield back on the attack. Atkinson trips and falls. Recovered by Zach Lyles. And Zach Lyles puts it in and fouled. What a play there by Zach Lyles. Borderline a dirty play there on Whitfield. The foul there is on number 33, Kyle Jackson. Todd, you hate to see kids going in for layups get fouled from behind like that, especially when it's your son.
I know it makes you nervous. Last game, Zach had an unfortunate incident. Ended up with 4 stitches, a broken tooth, and a bloody nose on the play. So I'm glad to see him being out there and being brave at this point.
Absolutely. Zach Lyles trying to convert the three the old-fashioned way, and he does. Tie game, 27-27, 142 left. Nice run here by the Bearcats.
Well, this has been a game of spurts. Whitfield jumped out, got a nice lead. KCD came back and tied it. Whitfield started the second quarter, got another spurt. Here's another steal by, this time, Henry Crockett.
And Henry Crockett converts. Yeah, a lot of these turnovers, Whitfield guys are just falling down. It's uncanny.
That's speaks to our pressure.
Nice rebound there by good defense by Robert Schultz. Rebounded by Zach Lyles. Up to Jordan Mathis, and he walked. That was a good call. That was definitely a walk.
And, Bob, I think this is the first lead KCD's had at 29-27.
Definitely is. I tell you what, that dunk really energized the crowd. When Robert Schultz was able to get that breakaway, it's almost like the tone of the game changed. Patterson with the ball to Daly. Daly drives it in the lane, back to Patterson. Patterson over to Getson. Getson out to Daly. Daly to Patterson. His three ball's up and no good. And ball goes out of bounds, and Khalil Wilson did a nice job of shielding the Whitfield defenders from getting it.
Very smart play by Khalil. No way that they were going to really get any advantage by him grabbing the ball in the corner. Just let the ball go out and let them get set up.
Henry Crockett over half court to Zach Lyles. Zach drives it in and converts again. Boy, what a great first half for Zach Lyles. 31-27 Bearcats.
Yeah, Zach's got 13 points in the first quarter. His one of his best halves of the year.
He deserves it after that injury last game. Ball fed into number 40, Ramey. Ramey has really done some good things for them. KCD inbounds a JR to Henry Crockett. Henry Crockett to Khalil. Khalil to Robert. Robert creates space but can't convert. Rebounded there by Daly. Daly to Patterson, up to Ramey. Ramey's shot is up and no good. And he's fouled there by Zach Lyles. And Ramey is down. Hopefully that young man's okay. That may be Zach's second foul.
That's Zach's second foul. They should be getting him out here, so I believe Whitfield's shooter, when he came down, he fell on his hand. He may not be able to go. They're going to be putting in a substitute to shoot free throws.
He may just be a marginal free throw shooter. Maybe an opportunity to get a good one in there. Hopefully he's okay. Checking in for the Bearcats, number 1, Benton C. gives Zach Lyles a rest. With 5.5 seconds left, I'm sure Coach Booker doesn't want Zach to get his third. 31-29 Bearcats. Free throws up and no good. That's number 20, Jacob Herod, taking that free throw. So 5.5 seconds left in the first half. Second shot's up and no good. Rebounded by Khalil, but lost and gained back by Khalil. Oh, Khalil throws it away to Daly. Daly steps out of bounds, and that'll end the half. So at the end of the second quarter, a very, very good ball game. KCD in the lead, 31-29. We're going to take a break. The game, again, tonight is being brought to you.
We took a street commercial, we have a corporate deal on playing, so it was down there, and I had to go down, so that was kind of hard. We ended up like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I draw your attention to center court. KCD's half-court shot contest, sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. $1 per shot. Winner receives a $10 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. Step right up. Sharpshooters. Jacob Greenlee. Yes. Chris Jordan Sucker. Is Jordan Sucker here? He was here earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that this basketball game is being broadcast at high, and two of our football games were viewed by somebody in the South Pole. So this game is being streamed all over the world. Thanks to our fellows up here behind me. Bennett, Michael Bennett, and Todd Holgrave. And Mr. Lyle.
stand by, ladies and gentlemen. We should have some halftime stats shortly.
Okay, guys, welcome back. We got about 3 minutes until the third quarter starting. We got a special guest with us tonight. Richard Klein is joining us here. He's going to be helping Todd and I with the second half. Richard, hello. How are you?
I'm doing good, Bobby. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How's the horse business?
Horse business is good.
right.
It's quiet this time of year.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let me go through, Richard, let me get through the stats here. So let's go through the stats first for Whitefield. Leading scorer for Whitefield in the first half was Andrew Patterson, had 13 points. James Daly had 6. Ryan Ramey 2. Aaron Johnson 2. And Christopher Harrod had 1. They made 12 of 18 shots, shot 67% from the field for 2-pointers, 1 of 6 from three-point range for 17%, and 54% overall. They were 2 for 6 from the line, had 5 turnovers and 10 rebounds. For our KCD Bearcats, leading scorer was Zach Lyles with 13. Robert Schultz had 8. Anthony Mathis 3. Henry Crockett 2. And Khalil Wilson provided an excellent spark off the bench with 2 points. From a shooting perspective on 2-pointers, KCD was 11 for 21 for 52%. They also were 1 for 6 from three-point range at 17%. Overall, they were 12 for 27 at 44%. KCD made 6 of 9 free throw attempts for 67%. And they had the same number of rebounds at 10. You know, Richard, it was interesting. I think you made a point while we were on break there that Whitefield got out to the lead because it seemed like they were just shellacking us on the boards.
I think they were more aggressive than KCD. It looked like KCD was a little intimidated by their size, and they were out-rebounding us and gotten all the hustle points. But I think once we figured out how to break their press, it seemed like we took the game back over, and that's why we have a 2-point lead.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I think also the dunk by Robert Schultz was a momentum changer, too. I think that helped us a lot, too. So 101 minute left before we get started in the second half. Richard, any keys to the second half you see?
I think we just got to stay aggressive and break their press, stay even with them on the boards, and I think it's going to be a close game down to the finish here.
Yeah, it almost seems like all these Whitefield KCD games come down to the end, and generally the home team generally holds serve. Hopefully we can have that happen here tonight too. So
hopefully our student section helps us get this win too.
I totally agree. It looks like we got a whiteout working over there. I see one of your favorite guys over there, Cam Sample, over there in the UK garb.
Looks like he should be on our offensive line this year up at UK.
I tell you what, he might have started. All right, so as we get ready to start the second half, let's go through the Whitefield starters. It looks like Ramey is out for the second half. Looks like he's got ice on his wrist. So it looks like Atkinson's in there, Patterson, Daly, number 10, Aaron Johnson, and number 23, Chip Atkinson. For the Bearcats, it's the Bearcats starting lineup. Crockett, Lyles, Ferguson, Mathis, and Schultz. KCD's got the ball to start the half. JR with 3. Just off to the right a little bit. Rebounded there by number 10 for Whitefield, Aaron Johnson. Whitefield comes into their end of the court. Patterson with the ball being checked there by Henry Crockett. Passed over to Daly. Over to number 24, Getson. Patterson back to Atkinson. Over to Johnson. Daly. Atkinson for 3, and he hits it. You know, Richard, these Whitefield teams, they all shoot the ball well. They're all pretty fundamental teams.
Yeah, they've always been good shooters.
Anthony Mathis bringing it up over half court. 32-31, Whitefield in the lead. Mathis on the wing. Dribbling it against Patterson. Passes it over to Crockett. Ball stolen there by Getson. Getson goes in for a layup and misses. Rebound there by Zach Lyles. Zach Lyles back to Henry Crockett. Really an ill-advised pass there to Crockett. Three-pointer attempted by Anthony Mathis, just off. Rebounded by Colin Ferguson. Back to Zach Lyles. His 2-pointer's no good. Ball deflected out of bounds off number 10, Aaron Johnson.
I think by having their big man, Ramey, out this second half may help us on the boards a little bit. That was their big rebounder.
He was, and he was really active on the boards, too. You know, you look at it from a size perspective, they don't really look bigger than us. In fact, I think Robert Schultz might be the biggest guy on the floor. Crockett with the ball, gets it over to Colin Ferguson. Looks like Whitefield's in a 3-2 zone. Henry does a nice job attacking the baseline and scores. Nice move by Henry Crockett. 33-32. KCD with 6-11 in the third. Patterson with the ball, drives it into the lane, and fouled, I think, before the shot there. Richard looked like he just broke down Henry Crockett off the dribble there.
Yeah, he found the seam right there and went right in the middle, and Henry reached out and caused the foul.
Non-shooting foul, KCD's first of the half. Whitefield inbounding the ball. Patterson gets it into number 10, Johnson, and Johnson converts. 34-33, Whitefield. Crockett up to Mathis, Mathis to Ferguson.
They're doing a good job breaking the press here, Bobby.
Yeah, much better than early in the first half. We really need to get Colin Ferguson started, don't we? Nice pass into Zach Lyles over to Henry Crockett. Henry Crockett hits J.R. Mathis on a cut and can't convert. Robert goes to the rebound, can't get it. Whitefield on the attack. Atkinson with the ball, takes a mid-range jumper and makes it. 36-33 Whitefield. Oh, bad pass there by J.R. Mathis and put in there by Daly. Timeout taken here by Coach Booker. And it looks like
this is the same way we started the game. Same way the second half. It looks like we're a little confused by their press.
Yeah, it looks like we always start slow. So we're going to take a quick break here, full timeout. So, again, tonight's games are being brought to you by 852 FX. All right, so Richard, we're back. So it looks like Whitefield's outscored us by 6 in this quarter, and it's just another slow start.
They've outscored us 9-2.
Outscored us 9-2.
9-2.
All right, Whitefield sticking with a 2-2-1 full court press. J.R. Mathis bringing it up, taking his time, looking for a place to pass. It gets it to Crockett, up to Schultz. Schultz to Zach Lyles, deflected. Anthony Mathis got it, feeds it down to Lyles, and he scores. Nice pass there by Anthony Mathis. Like to see a little bit more bounce passes.
Rich Wright.
All right, so KCD drops back into looks like a 2-3 or 3-2 zone. Three-pointer by Daly is up and no good for Whitefield. Colin Ferguson on the rebound. Colin Ferguson into half court, over to J.R. Mathis, three-pointer up and long. Rebounded there by Daly for Whitefield. Good shot there by Anthony Mathis, is not able to convert. But a beautiful steal. Mathis bringing it down over half court, stops at the foul line, takes the jumper and hits it. Really, boy, he's an impressive player, isn't he?
He's very steady for an 8th grader.
38-37 Whitefield. KCD still in the 3-2 zone. Patterson with the ball. Patterson over to Daly. Daly looks, surveys it. He's got Atkinson running the baseline. They throw it into Getson. Getson's pass deflected but recovered by Daly. Over to Atkinson. His shot is up and in. I think he's their best shooter. 41-37. Whitefield in the lead. Anthony Mathis trying to beat the press. Gets it into half court. Drives it down the lane to Schultz. Schultz short jumper is no good. Tipped by Zach Lyles, no good. Whitefield with the ball. And it looks like a timeout, 30-second timeout's being taken here by Whitefield. Richard will stay here.
Looks like we got to keep our eye on number 23, Chip Atkinson. He's hit 2 3-pointers.
Yeah, Richard, I think he's their best shooter. I think the Patterson kid's a slasher and a good mid-range shooter, and I think Atkinson is their three-point threat.
I think by us going to the 2-3 zone, it caught them off guard there.
Yeah, it was interesting, though. They quickly screened one of the down guys, popped Atkinson out for a wide-open three, so I wouldn't be surprised if we come back man-to-man. All right, so with 3:34 left in the third quarter, possession is with Whitefield. So let's see what the Bearcats can do to adjust to get back into this ball game. Also, Khalil Wilson is checking in, and he's given
Zach Lyles took a break.
All right. Patterson with the ball being checked by Henry. Looks like we're back to man-to-man, Richard. Pass into Atkinson. Atkinson's short jumper is up and no good. And over the back there on number 10, Aaron Johnson for Whitefield. Good position there by Colin Ferguson.
He did a good job of blocking out there. The guy reached over him to try and get the rebound.
Yeah, I'd love to see Colin Ferguson come down and get an open three and bury it just to get him going. Colin Ferguson gets it over to Henry Crockett. Henry Crockett gets it into half court, over to Colin Ferguson, over to Mathis. Mathis to Ferguson. Ferguson at the top of the circle, over to Mathis. Mathis takes a bounce or two and throws it across court to Henry Crockett. To Colin Ferguson, short jumper, just a little bit long. Rebound controlled there by Whitefield.
Looks like Whitefield went to man-to-man that possession.
And Whitefield quickly responds with another three. 44-37 Whitefield. Anthony Mathis on a drive. Passes it to Schultz. Schultz puts it in. 44-39 Whitefield.
That was a better job that time being aggressive on the press.
Yeah, it seemed like when we attacked the press, we're getting layups. Atkinson with the ball. He's got at least 3 early three-pointers this half. Passes it to Patterson. Patterson can't convert. Rebounded there by Daly, and Daly puts it in. Richard, they're pounding us on the boards again.
That was just sloppy rebounding on our part. We had 3 guys around the ball.
Henry Crockett to Khalil Wilson. Khalil goes in for the shot. Rebound controlled by Daly, but stolen by Crockett. Crockett takes it in, fouled, and unable to convert. Been nice to see Henry go up there with the left hand, chose to go right, and that may be why he missed it.
Looked like Khalil got fouled in the last layup. They didn't call the foul there.
Yeah, it sure did. Sure did. So Crockett's going to the line with KCD trailing 46-39. 1:59 left in the third. First free throw's up and no good. Checking back into the game, Zach Lyles is going to give Colin Ferguson a break. So Henry's got one more free throw. Second shot's up and no good. Rebounded by Aaron Johnson. Whitefield with the ball with a 7-point lead. KCD's in straight man-to-man. Patterson with the ball being checked by Henry Crockett. Patterson passes it over to number 24, Getson. Getson goes against Schultz, gets it to Atkinson, wide open and misses. Rebounded by Getson. Getson goes back door to Patterson. and blocked there by Henry Crockett.
Bobby, we're leaving a lot of points on the at the foul line. We're 6 of 11 for the game.
Yeah, and I wonder how many of those are front end opportunities. So if a couple of those are front end, that's 6, really equivalent to 6 for 13 or 14. Whitfield with the ball. Daly being checked by J.R. Mathis. Daly drives it in. Shot up and no good. Rebounded by Aaron Johnson and in. And Coach Booker's going to take a timeout. Coach Booker cannot be happy. We're just getting obliterated on the boards. So it looks like this is a 30-second timeout. We'll stay here, Richard.
That's one of the big differences this half is the rebounding. We're doing a poor job of blocking out.
Yeah, so and then we're not getting the ball in transition off the defensive glass. It seems like every time we get the ball, it's after a made basket for Whitfield, and they're able to set their press up. All right, 1:23 left in the third, 48-39.
Bobby, they're out rebounding us 10-3 this quarter.
Wow.
They got 20 rebounds for the game. We have 13. So the difference is the foul shooting and the rebounding.
Yep. I would 100% agree with that. Richard inbounding the ball, Zach Lyles. Whitfield drops back into a 3-2 zone. Be really nice if KCD could get this lead down to 4 or 5 points before the end of the quarter. Ball over to J.R. Mathis, over to Zach Lyles. Zach Lyles to Crockett. Crockett to Schultz. Schultz on the baseline, short. Rebound Schultz, but he went over the back. Yeah, Robert needs to keep it quiet. He's going to get a technical foul there, Richard. (48-39). Whitfield in the lead with the ball. KCD pressing. Number 23, Atkinson, gets it into half court. Has it taken away by Mathis. Crockett into the half court. Over to Lyles. Lyles back to Crockett. Over to Mathis. Mathis drives the baseline. Gets it to Zach Lyles. His three-pointer is up and good. Big shot by Zach Lyles. KCD in the 2-2-1 full court press.
Mathis created all that right there.
Yep. Ball into Daly. Daly goes in for the layup, and he's fouled. Yeah, Richard, they were lucky to get it over half court before 10-second violation was called, and they went ahead and attacked the glass and drew a foul on Khalil Wilson.
On that last basket by Lyles, Mathis did a good job of taking it into the basket, creating the defense to come to him, and it opened up for a three-point shot.
It seems like Anthony Mathis is always under control and always has his head up. He makes a lot of really, really good passes. Coming back into the game for the Bearcats, number 12, Colin Ferguson. 48-42, Whitfield in the lead with 32 seconds left. Daly at the line. Second one's up and in. Zach Lyles gets it into JR. JR up to Crockett. Crockett's got the ball. Pass, an ill-advised pass, and stolen there by Atkinson for Whitfield. Whitfield on the attack. They pass it over to Daly. Daly for three. Got it. 52-42, Whitfield. Crockett with the ball, 10 seconds. KCD trailing by 10. Ball kicked there by Atkinson. 4.5 seconds left. 52-42 Whitfield. Colin Ferguson inbounding against the 3-2 zone for Whitfield. Zach Lyles over to Crockett. Crockett takes an ill-advised shot, rebounded by Schultz, put up and missed. So at the end of the third quarter, Whitfield outscores KCD by 12, takes a 52-42 lead into the fourth quarter. We're going to take a 30-second break. We'll be back here in just a moment. Game's brought to you by 852FX.
There, this is Jimbo Schaefer, one of the proud owners of Johnny V's, right in the heart of J-Town at 10509 Waterson Trail. Don't miss out on our weekly pizza and beer specials. And if you don't like pizza, Try some of our made-from-scratch pasta dishes, just like your mama made them. Wanting to have a party? Johnny V's is a place. We have a fantastic party room that accommodates up to 100 people. Great for baby showers, corporate meetings, wedding rehearsals, or if you just want to get down. Johnny V's also caters. That's Johnny V's, 10509 Waterston Trail. And don't forget, we're always up.
All right, guys, welcome back. Getting ready to start the fourth quarter. Whitefield in the lead, 52-42.
Bobby, Whitefield shot 4 for 6 from the three-pointers that half.
Did they really in the third quarter? Well, and I think most of those shots, Richard, were wide open.
That you and I could make it at our age.
Absolutely. Richard, I haven't seen a guy out there yet with a better stroke than what you have.
That's because you used to leave me open.
That's right. I never play defense. Back to the action. Whitfield with the ball. Patterson passes it over to Getson. Getson's got it, looking for somebody to pass to. Looks like KCD's coming out maybe with a little bit more energy this half. That had to be close to a 5-second call. Patterson against Crockett. Drives it into the lane and makes it. 54-42. Whitfield. KCD on the attack. Whitfield staying with a 3-2 zone. Richard, looks like that foul line is wide open, and there we go. Zach Lyles is splashing in there now.
I can't tell if they're playing a 2-3 or 3-2 or 2-1-2.
I think they're doing 3-2, and they're dropping 32 into the middle. Patterson into the middle. JR for 3. Got it. Boy, he can stroke it. 54-45, KCD picking up the pressure. Pass into Aaron Johnson. Aaron Johnson trying to create space, and that's got to be a walk. Yeah, good call. Yeah, he was doing everything he could to make space, and he shuffled his feet a little bit. 6:52 left in the fourth quarter, 54-45 Whitfield. Henry Crockett with the ball. Henry to Zach Lyles. Zach Lyles over to Colin Ferguson. Ferguson back to Lyles. Down to Henry Crockett. Henry tries to shoot it off an alley-oop pass deflected by Whitfield. Whitfield on the attack. Atkinson gets it down to Daly. Daly tries to shoot it, and the ball is kicked by Robert Schultz out of bounds. Whitfield ball under their goal.
Robert did a good job of recovering there, else they had an easy basket.
Yeah, he sure did. Looks like we're giving a little bit more effort here to start the fourth quarter than we did in the third.
We better. There's only 6 minutes left.
Whitfield on the attack. Patterson with the ball being guarded by Henry Crockett. Passes it over to Daly. Daly to Getson. Getson to Patterson. Patterson to Daly, being checked by JR. Patterson's got it back over to Atkinson. Atkinson to Getson. Getson over to Johnson. Johnson tries to drive it in, pulls it back out. I think Whitfield's content to take the air out of the ball a little bit. Cutter there by Atkinson and an easy layup. That was a nice play there by Whitfield.
Did a good job of moving the ball, looking for the open man.
Oh, beautiful pass from Crockett to Lyles, and Lyles flips it in. KCD gets into a 2-2-1 press. Ball's inbounded into Getson. Getson to Atkinson. Atkinson for 3. No good. Rebounded by Zach Lyles to Henry Crockett. Crockett into the half court. Trailing by 9. Over to Lyles. Over to Ferguson on the wing. Ferguson back to Crockett. Crockett to Ferguson. Ferguson looking on the wing. Takes a dribble. Step back 2. No good. Rebounded by Schultz. And a foul's called. I think the foul's on Getson. On Whitfield. BKC ball under the basket. Really no foul trouble for either team this half, Richard. KCD to inbound it. Henry Crockett looking to inbound it. Gets it into Ferguson. Ferguson up to J.R. Mathis. J.R. Mathis needs to swing it right back over to Colin Ferguson. He was open but doesn't. Takes it over to Crockett. Crockett drives it in. Takes it back out to the top. Over to J.R. Mathis. J.R. Mathis off a screen from Robert Schultz. Drives it into the lane. Flips it up. No good. Rebounded by Schultz. Put up by him. 56-49. Whitefield. KCD back in the 2-2-1 press. They beat it pretty easily. Back up to Getson. Getson over to Atkinson. And back to Daly. Daly drives into the lane. Puts a shot up. No good. And controlled by Zach Lyles.
He got away with putting his shoulder down. It could have been a charge.
Yeah. It looked like Robert Schultz also had his hand in the net. Colin Ferguson called for a walk. Whitefield ball. And it looks like Whitefield's going to take a timeout. Looks like they're going to take a full timeout. So, Richard, we're going to take a quick break. Again, tonight's game's being brought to you by 852 FX. And we'll be back here shortly. All right, guys, we're back. 4:17 left in the fourth quarter. KCD trailing 56-49. Looks like it's going to be Whitfield's ball inbounding it after the KCD turnover. So really getting down to the critical stages of this game with 4 minutes, 17 seconds left. KCD applying full court pressure here as Whitfield's about to inbound it. So, Richard, we really need to turn up the intensity here and create some turnovers, I think. Ball's inbounded to Daly, being checked there by J.R. Mathis. Gets it back out to Atkinson. Atkinson back to Patterson. Patterson against Henry Crockett. Passes it over to Daly, who's being guarded by J.R. Mathis. Passes it over to Getson. Getson is being checked by Robert Schultz. Tries to make a backdoor pass to Patterson, and Patterson slips. KCD ball. Zach Lyles inbounds it to Henry Crockett. 3:57 left. KCD trailing by 7. Pass over to Colin Ferguson. Colin Ferguson over to J.R. Mathis. J.R. Mathis looking for somebody to pass it to. Gets a screen by Zach Lyles. Gets it over to Henry Crockett. His three-pointer is up and no good. Rebounded by Getson, but stolen away by Colin Ferguson. Mathis on the baseline. Takes it all the way out the other side to Lyles, to Henry Crockett. Henry Crockett to Colin Ferguson. Colin Ferguson passes it to Henry Crockett over to J.R. Mathis. J.R. Mathis to Henry Crockett. Over to J.R. Mathis. We're taking a lot of time here, Richard. We need to get a shot up.
We got to get the ball in the middle to Zach Lyles.
Absolutely. Three-pointer by J.R. Mathis. No good. Rebounded by Henry Crockett. He puts it up and in. 56-51. KCD down by 5 with 3:02 left.
We're relying too much on the three-pointers. It's still too early to do that.
Yeah, and I think if we threw the ball into the center, Richard, we could chuck it out for a three. But, passing around the perimeter against the 3-2 is tough. Whitefield with the ball. Atkinson over to Getson. Getson to Patterson. Patterson to Daly. JR's checking him. Over to number 10, Johnson. He passes it to Atkinson. Over to Daly. Being checked by J.R. Mathis. Back to Patterson. Guarded by Zach Lyles. Gets it over to Aaron Johnson. To Patterson. Patterson's shot.
Charge.
Up, and he's called for a charge. I think that was a little home cooking there. I thought that was a block.
I thought I saw it a different way than you. Remember, I had eye surgery. I don't think you did.
I usually try not to be a homer, but I don't think he was set, but we'll take the call, that's for sure. KCD on the attack. Henry Crockett with the ball. 2:21 left, trailing 56-51. Zach Lyles comes up and sets the screen. Dribbles into the lane to Robert Schultz. Too hard. Rebounded by Daly. Daly up to Patterson. Patterson attacks and is fouled by Colin Ferguson. I'm surprised, Richard, he just didn't pull that ball back out.
Fouls on Colin Ferguson.
He did a good job of creating the foul there, taking it to the basket.
Yeah, so Patterson's going to go to the line for 2.
Patterson will shoot 2.
First shot by Patterson's up and in. 57-51 Whitefield. Patterson for the second. Puts it up and in. 58-51. KCD on the attack. J.R. Mathis at the top. Over to Henry Crockett. Down to Robert Schultz. To Henry Crockett. Henry drives the lane over to Colin Ferguson. Over to J.R. Mathis. His 3 balls up and no good. Rebounded by Whitefield. It's got to be 5 seconds or something.
We got to do some
Oh,
fouling.
it's a carry there by Daly. What's that?
We got to do some fouling when they get the ball. There's only 4 fouls, so they're still not near the bonus.
Yeah, we got to get them into the bonus, and we got to figure out who is their best player to foul. I'm guessing, from what I see, Getson may be the guy that we want to foul. Henry Crockett with the ball over to Colin Ferguson. Over to Mathis. To Zach Lyles. Zach Lyles over to Ferguson. Ferguson to Crockett. Crockett drives the lane up and no good. Rebounded by Ferguson. Ferguson to Crockett. Crockett out to Mathis. And a timeout taken by Coach Booker. Really good defense being played by Whitefield.
I think KCD looked a little confused on that possession right there.
Yeah, they did. You know, they're trying to do way too much on the perimeter. They need to get the ball into the lane and then pass it out from the lane. And then they'll get open shots, I think. Full timeout, but I think we're going to stay here. So 1:10 left in the game. Richard 58-51. KCD only has 4 fouls. I think you're right. I think when Whitefield gets the ball, we need to start fouling them to get them in the bonus.
Otherwise, they're going to take too much time off the clock. So.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the way we're handling the ball on offense, I think we're taking more time off the clock than Whitefield is.
You know what's nice to see? You look over the way, you see a student body showing up, and you see past alumni here from going back 2 to 3 years, and even this past year.
Yeah, you look over there and you see Blake Cinta, who was maybe arguably one of the best players to ever play basketball here at KCD. All right, so back to action. KCD's got the ball on the wing. Looks like Whitefield staying with the zone. Colin Ferguson gets it into J.R. Mathis. J.R. Mathis over on the wing, gets it to Henry Crockett. Henry Crockett to J.R. Mathis. J.R. Mathis to Henry Crockett. Henry drives it in. Passes it over to Zach Lyles. Zach Lyles over to Colin Ferguson. Colin back to Henry Crockett. Henry drives the lane, puts it up and fouled.
Fouled there by the baseline.
Oh, he stepped on the baseline. Wow. That hurts. 48 seconds left.
We got a foul right away. They're thinking about calling it intentional for grabbing the shirt.
Oh, that's
what they call it.
Yeah, Richard, that was a big-time flop right there.
Well, the referee out here on the half-court line's the one that made the call. The referee down below never made the call.
Yeah, he couldn't even see the play.
He made the call, and he's up here. So the ref that was sitting there watching it didn't make the call. He just called a foul.
So that's 2 shots on the ball for Whitefield. First shot's up and in. This Patterson kid's had a heck of a game for Whitfield. Second shot up and in. 60-51.
Robert Schultz has got a technical.
Well, they just called a technical on Robert Schultz. So technical foul on Robert Schultz. Yeah, I think the KCD coaching staff is about to get a technical foul too. Yeah, it's so bad. Right? So shooting the technical is Patterson. First one's up and in. Next one's up and in. 62-51 Whitefield. Whitefield will be inbounding the ball.
That's 4 points they scored with no time off the clock.
And they get the ball back.
Next foul, they go to the shoot, the bonus.
All right, quick foul on Henry Crockett. That'll send Patterson back to the line for 1-1. So I think Henry Crockett just got his 5th foul.
Scoreboard shows 4.
Yeah, no, they buzzed him like it was 5. First shot for Patterson is good. 63-51. Second for Patterson. Next one's up and in. 64-51. KCD on the possession. Colin Ferguson for 3. No good. Rebounded by Whitfield. He walked. They got to call a walk. He took 3 steps there, but they didn't. Foul on Robert Schultz. Going to the line for Whitfield is Johnson. So Coach Booker's putting in Benton C for 3-point shooting. 32 seconds left here, and the outcome has pretty much been determined. First shot's up and in. Johnson back to the line for the second. That's good. 66-51. J.R. Mathis gets it to Henry Crockett. His short jumper's no good. Rebounded by Whitfield. Atkinson with the ball. He loses it out of bounds, but possession goes to Whitfield. 18 seconds left. Well, Richard, it's got to be a disappointing loss for the Bearcats.
Game was a lot closer than what the scoreboard showed. Whitefield took it to the second half. They were a lot more aggressive. They made a lot of big shots.
They were. Yeah, they shot the ball well. They defended well. And, KCD could just never get over the hump in the second half. 16 seconds left. Daly going to the line for 1-and-1.
They've outscored us this quarter 14-9, and their last 6 points have been at the foul line. And that's with less than a minute to go.
Free throws up and no good. Taken down by Colin Ferguson. Colin Ferguson to half court to J.R. Mathis. His three-pointer is no good. Rebounded by Atkinson. And really, Richard, we've gotten no offensive rebounds, it doesn't seem like. And that'll do it. Richard, thanks for helping us out.
It's been a pleasure. I'm sorry we couldn't bring home a win.
That's all right. So, guys, that'll bring this game to a close. Whitefield wins at KCD 66-51. Again, tonight's game is being brought to you by 852FX. Thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you on future KCD broadcasts. Thank you.